Good afternoon, traders. This is Tony D from easyMarkets in the Sydney dealing room. A little bit of a retracement overnight has been quickly unwound. So risk on a little bit of a bounce, 200 points in the Dow has led overnight to a little bit more stabilization in dollar yen and the US dollar pushing back across multiple pairs. Most significantly, the euro had a huge tumble, which is a little bit out of character for it, and definitely has a few of the trend traders scratching their heads whether the euro uptrend is still in play right now. We'll get to the euro in a second because we do have to talk about what's happened so far in the Asian session today. You've seen the selling coming through on the dollar yen. What's that about? Well, this sharp sell-off is on reports that Donald Trump has fired his national security advisor. Now, this report has been denied, and then a new report's come out recent in the last few hours suggesting that he is fired, but given some time to find a replacement and also sort out the details. So he's on the way out, basically. So Trump is trying to get his cabinet the way that he feels. He likes it, and basically a lot of these people he's getting rid of are the ones that are a bit more moderate. So ones who are trying to get him to not pull out of the Iran deal, also trying to get him to not put tariffs on China and start a trade war. Now the new replacements are definitely more in line with his thinking, and we could see more aggressive Trump actions coming in the second half of this year if all these changes do take place. And that's why the market's in a bit of a risk-off mode here. See the selling coming through in the after hours on the Dow here, and also dollar yen. If you're looking at what's going on in the euro though, and we were looking for that break above 124 on US dollar weakness last night, you saw a sharp reversal. Now that reversal is starting to threaten this whole general uptrend, and you're starting to see a few lower highs now. So while the bigger trend is definitely up, you're seeing the topping action here is making it harder and harder to remain bullish. And we do have the US raising rates next week, so potentially the US dollar weakness would have to come from another aspect, not going to come from the trade tariffs and expected euro outperformance in that regard. So what you have to be looking at more is range trading. A pound failed at 140 as well, back towards the low end of the current range. You can see here, got up to 139.90 a few times, but just underneath that 140 level. And so the US dollar's holding its own. And so if you look at the dollar index, you can see here a bit more of a view, that sharp reversal there. It's while it's not actually making new highs, it's not making new lows just at the moment. So those who are talking about the demise of the US dollar, perhaps we have to wait a little bit longer, perhaps see what the Fed has to say after they raise rates, see how hawkish they come across with the new Fed chair in charge. Alright, so no data tonight really to be watching, just more look at the political fallout. That seems to be the main driver these days of the US stock market, and also general US dollar strength or weakness on a day-to-day basis. So keep an eye on how the US session reacts to this news that was leaked in early Asia, and see if there's more official replies or comments on the subject. So far we've just seen White House press secretary say there was nothing to announce at the moment, but Trump might have something to say. Almost definitely always has something to say, so what he says later will be taken as probably a bit more closer to the truth on his feelings towards his national security advisor. Alright, if you have any questions about what we're talking about or particular pairs, do come through on the contact details below. If you're not a member of the easyMarkets team, you can also sign up below, and then you can get a dealer like myself to assist you with your trading.